Hello everybody, and well, hopefully not nobody. I'm JJumbo. There are games that left big impacts to me as a kid. Like take Super Mario 3D World for example. It has excellent level design throughout the whole game, and it has amazing controls. It's so good that I come back to it almost every year. Now Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, it's not one of those games. I know that me and my siblings 100%ed it, but there wasn't a whole lot that stuck with me. So let's see if replaying the game brings back old memories, or even if it's good at all. A bit of context is when the developers were making this game, they saw the Wii U gamepad and thought it would be perfect to make an asymmetric multiplayer game, and to make a follow-up of Kirby's Canvas Curse. So, I think to follow in the developers' ideas, let's get some friends to play this game. Do you want to play Kirby and the Rainbow Curse?
I would rather be doing anything else. Why do you think I'd want to play Kirby and the Rainbow Curse? It is one of the worst games ever. What is wrong with you?
Well, that didn't work, so I guess I'm playing it by myself. Anyways, so the first world of this game is Green Valley. This world is just a tutorial of the controls and basics of this game. At the very beginning, there is an actual tutorial where it shows you how to move Kirby by tapping him with the Wii U gamepad. This also counts as your only attack move. After the first time you do that, Kirby will keep moving in whatever direction he's facing. There are parts of the level design that can stop him, but it's few and far between. To get a bit more control of where he's going, you can draw rainbow paths for him to roll on. It will drain a meter that slowly refills whenever you aren't drawing. A faster way to refill it is by being on the ground or by touching paint buckets. Then, there is another move whenever you grab 100 stars. If you tap and hold Kirby, he will grow big and then launch forward in whatever direction he's facing. He also destroys anything in his way, like iron blocks and certain enemies, which they are indestructible unless you have that ability. Overall, I don't like the controls of this game. They just feel way too loose and chaotic. It feels like half the time I'm just hoping everything will work out, and most of the time, it doesn't. I think the one thing that would make it tolerable is if you could stop. It would just make it so you could plan out what's going to happen just a little bit easier. With all the levels in this world, it tries to make sure you understand the controls. And they aren't too hard, but then again, they're nothing too memorable. The only one I think was kinda cool was Great Cave Escape. It has you blocking off waterfalls that stop Kirby. It's nothing too special, but with the other levels in this world, it is something. With Yellow Dunes, it has you in an ancient desert where you can find lots of collectibles in it. The kind of collectibles are figurines that are just 3D models of most of the characters in this game. I think it's really cute, because with this game, having a claymation art style to it, seeing the models they use for this game are really nice. They also have little descriptions of them that have a funny little quip with them at the end. They even have some characters that aren't even in this game, like King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Chef Kawasaki. Then there's the music room, where it has music from older Kirby games, the soundtrack from this game, and it also has some arrangements from other songs throughout the Kirby series. It's nothing I would consider too cool, but it's nice to have. The ways you would unlock figures or music is through finding treasure chests in the level. They can be found in hidden spots, having to solve a puzzle, having to do a timer challenge, which are by grabbing puzzle pieces in a set time, or in challenge rooms, where you get 10 to 20 seconds to do a quick challenge related to the level. After you play a challenge level, you unlock some of them in challenge mode. It's just more of those quick challenges. It's a kind of nice thing to have when you want to break from playing the levels. The final collectibles are the Secret Diary. It just has goofy little drawings of random things. How you unlock them are by grabbing it from the goal wheel. I hate this goal wheel because in most of the levels, it moves in notches. I get psyched out of it because it moves slowly. There is few levels where it does move continuously, and it's so easy to get it that way. I think that most of the collectibles in this game are nice, but nothing you can't just look at a YouTube video of to know what it's about. After that, we get Indigo Ocean, and it's a water world. Most games that I've played, water levels have been the worst part. I'm gonna hope that this one's gonna be an exception to it. Yeah, it's bad, but not as bad as what I was thinking it was going to be. So instead of you learning a whole new set of controls, gravity just gets flipped, and you are a bit more floatier. I think for being water levels, it's nice. And with the level of the haunted ship, it's more of a puzzle level, where you try to sneak around a haunted ship with Dethskullk that can kill you in one hit. But they can't see you when you get in the water, so the water is now a safe place for you to plan out your next move. The only thing I hate about this level is just how short it is. There were only 2 main rooms, and the first one teaches the basics of this level gimmick, and then the second one, they get a bit more in depth with it. I just wish they did way more with this level gimmick, because it could have been my favorite level in this game, but I think it would probably place in 3rd, just for getting my hopes up, but then dropping the ball so fast. Next, we get Blue Sky Palace, and they decided to make most of this world auto-scrollers. Come on! One of the few things worse than water levels? Auto-scrollers? I already hate them enough, because most of the time it's either way too easy or way too hard. And if you make a mistake, you have to run it all over again. This one decides to make it way too hard just by having bottomless pits. And with the limited paint you can use in the air, makes these levels one of the worst in the game. So you might be wondering, what's the story of this game? Well, it's pretty basic. It starts off with everyone in Dreamland having a peaceful day. But then, a magical portal zaps all of the color out of Dreamland and it freezes everything. After all of that, a living paintbrush named Aline is being chased by Grab Hands. Then, in a last-ditch effort, Aline brings Kirby and Bandana Waddle Dee back, and they stop Grab Hands momentarily. Then, they escape to stop Glacia, who is in control of Grab Hands. So yeah, it's a pretty basic story. Next, we get my least favorite world, Orange Woodland. It adds way too many gimmicks that change how you control. First, they added a gondola that controls bad. It has it where you draw lines to connect paths together. The problem with this one is that getting the lines to connect back to each other felt almost impossible. And the hitbox of the gondola felt weird, because there's a hitbox that is part of the gondola that connects to the path, and then there's a separate hitbox for Kirby, and if Kirby hits a wall or the ground, the whole gondola breaks. I just could never wrap my brain around them being different. And then, there are different gimmicks that I haven't talked about so far, and it's transformation levels. What happens is that you transform into a kind of vehicle, then you get a whole new moveset for that level. The first one is a tank, where you tap on enemies to shoot them. The problem with this one is that it's either way too simple or way too complicated. There wasn't really a middle ground of difficulty. The next one is a submarine. It has Kirby automatically shooting 3 torpedoes every few seconds, while you are controlling where Kirby moves to. The thing about this one is Kirby only faces to the right. So if you want to hit something behind you, you have to draw a path to aim the torpedoes. The problem with this one is that Kirby feels way too slow, and it feels pretty easy most of the time. The final transformation you get is a rocket. It's the most similar to the default moveset, but Kirby moves in a straight line indefinitely. The problem with this one is that it's hard to get Kirby to be in an exact spot, because he'll just be bouncing off of walls. And he moves fast enough where it's more of a reaction game. I just think that instead of them making new movesets for Kirby, they could have just created level gimmicks that had to be unique to the levels, like the haunted ship level. With the second to final world, we get lava levels. Most of the levels in this world have you trying to be fast, with you blocking lava falls in the level Burning Secrets. With the next level, Volcanic Panic, I'm gonna go on a bit of a side tangent. Kirby looks so good in this level. Wait a second. The next level, Volcanic Panic, I'm gonna go on a bit of a side tangent. Pac-Man looks so good in this level. They stole the level name from Pac-Man World 2! Anyways, this level is pretty good. It has you trying to escape from rising lava. I'm just surprised that they have the same level name from Pac-Man World 2. Also, the bosses in this game are alright. The first one is against Wispy Woods. All you do is draw a path avoiding spike balls and then attack Wispy. The second one is Hoop Lagoon. It has you dodging a laser attack and then hitting its outer shell. The third one is the Claykin. You just wait for the Claykin to attack with his tentacles and then hitting parts of it that's not covered in spikes. After those bosses, we get the same thing as before, but harder. Like Wispy turns to metal, adds more spikes, you are fighting Hoop Lagoon in water. And with the Claykin, parts of the floor will get removed. These are only minor changes to make them harder. Weirdly enough, I think the second fight for the Claykin is easier because you're not fighting it in water. So far, this game has just been alright. There haven't been any levels that have really wowed me, except for that haunted ship level. That one is pretty cool. So unless the final world can bring something cool to the table, this game is just going to be forgettable to me. Except for, it has a cool art style, and it has a great soundtrack. Okay. First level, pretty good. Has you having to stay on scanner stations in order to activate something. Kind of interesting, because Kirby has to keep moving, so holding still, it's a little bit hard. Now the next level is something real sweet, as you control 2 Kirbys at the same time. I really like this level. Even though it's an auto-scroller, I think it's something about how you only need to control one of them at a time, so your attention isn't split on doing multiple things at the same time. And if you pay too much attention to only one of them, it makes it so the worst outcome would be missing just a collectible. But then later, there's an elevator sequence where they put them in the same space. And you get a fun interaction of 2 Kirbys bumping into each other, causing it to feel like a pinball board. The only problem I have with this level is that later it has you trying to aim a Kirby at some of the enemies, but the whole pinball thing isn't too precise, but it's still a really amazing level. Now the final real level is also great. It has a gimmick of these obstacles called warp space, eat you. Then they launch you in a random direction. It's sometimes used as an obstacle, but sometimes you need to know when to get swallowed by them. There's also a mini boss in the level where you had to avoid the warp spaces while trying to attack the boss. Overall, I think this world makes up for parts of the annoying gimmicks in the other worlds. Then there's a final boss. It has it where you launch these balls at Glacia. It has the same problem as the level with 2 Kirbys, because it's hard to control where they fly to. It's nice that they did a little bit of foreshadowing with what gimmick you'll have to use with the boss, but it still sucks. Then, there's a second part to the boss where you've freed Glacia from the glasses that were controlling her, but then the glasses form into this cloud of paint. So now you'll have to use the rocket transformation to chase after and then defeat it. So I think this game only gets really good in the final world, but it gets extremely great then. So part of me wants to rate this game really highly. Then again, some of those level gimmicks that change the controls sucked. So I think I'd give this game like around a 6 out of 10. But this game might be way higher if you have some friends to play it with you. Hello?
I'm ready to play Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Oh, I thought you really hated this game.
No. I was thinking of Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots. Yeah.
Come on, really?